Hi guys, it's Mika Martinez, and in this video I'm going to show you an example of what great SEO looks like. And in this example, I'm not even going to show you a large e-commerce brand. I'm going to show you a small e-commerce brand doing good SEO. If you don't know who I am a Shopify SEO expert. I've been in the SEO industry for over 6 years now, and I've worked on over 200 projects and helped scale some of them to over 7 figures in annual revenue. Okay, so let's get to the video. So the brand I want to show you guys is Joe and Bella. If you look at their rankings, it looks like they invested in SEO at least a year ago, and they've done pretty well. I estimate that they're doing at least 10K per month from SEO, and in my opinion, this is just the beginning, because when I show you what they're doing in terms of SEO strategy, I have a feeling we're going to see them get even more traffic via SEO in the future, at least like triple or even 5 times the traffic they're currently getting, just because of the strategy they're implementing. All right. So I'm actually going to go use this 607 media playbook like a checklist to go through what we would do in terms of SEO and see what Joe and Bella are doing right, if they're doing anything wrong, where they can improve. And yeah, so the first thing is always, like, if you have seen our playbook, this is how it looks like visually. It's technical SEO, on page and off page. So that's, a technical SEO audit. Page SEO is basically whatever's on the site, whether that's doing keyword research, navigation and site structure, optimizing shopping pages like collection and product pages, and then of course writing supporting blog content and internally linking all those pages together. And lastly, off-page SEO is just basically link building foundational links, guest posts, link insertions, etc., right? So let's go through this checklist one by one to see what they've done. So internal product page links, that's basically the product page links in the product grids. Yeah, so these are actually fine because out of the box, Shopify actually nests these product pages in like the collection like this. Adaptive clothing, adaptive shirts, I think that's the collection name. Normally nests it like that and then uses a canonical tag to basically show the search engine that the original URL is this. The goal here is basically to remove that from the URL so that it's just going straight to the real or actual product page URL. So they've done that, they've made that change. If you want to learn how to make that change, we have some training in our school community. Again, if you want to learn this whole playbook from A to Z, technical, on page and off page, you can get access in our school community. There's a link in the description, right? So what I'm talking about is this right here. Shopify product page URLs out of the box, they normally look like this, but you want them to look like this because this is the actual original URL. Even if you're using this URL, there's actually a canonical tag pointing to this URL. So you're just adding an unnecessary step. To fix that, you just have to change some code in your theme, some line, usually 1 or 2 lines of code in your theme, and remove this portion in that line, right? Again, if you want to learn all of this, join the school community. Yeah, they've done this change. Okay, next is breadcrumbs. So when I look at breadcrumbs, they don't actually implement breadcrumbs. That's the one thing I think that they fail to do. I'm not sure exactly why, because they've done so many things well. I'm not sure why they haven't implemented breadcrumbs, right? So it's something that they should implement. Removing product and blog tags from the index. They have removed all product and blog tags from the index. The reason for that is, well, let me show you here, right? Product and blog tags are basically duplicate pages, right? So Shopify creates duplicate pages for every tag you use, right? So if you have product tags or blog tags, Shopify will create duplicate pages for those tags and basically bloat your index, create unnecessary duplicate pages that the search engine has to crawl, and it basically wastes your crawl budget and confuses the search engine because it's duplicate content. So you want to remove all these tag pages from the index. How do you do that? You can use this piece of code. Just add this piece of code to your theme.liquid file, and it'll basically make sure that all these tag pages are set to no index, but follow, right? And they've clearly done that because they have no tag pages in the index. So yeah, check. Auto-generated collection pages. So those auto-generated collection pages are usually I can show them to you here, like vendor and product type collections, or even like the all collections page, right? Let's see if they have that indexed. Yeah, so they do have those indexed. Like, you don't actually need to index these pages because they don't target any specific query, right? Like products, like you don't really target a specific query. So again, it's just a waste of crawl budget, but like, yeah, it's just a few pages, but you know, you want to have, if you want to have perfect technical SEO, you want to remove these unnecessary pages from the index as well, because yeah, they don't target any query. So you're just wasting your crawl budget. And yeah, the larger the site, the more tricky it becomes. So yeah, you just want to remove those from the index. Again, you can just simply add these code snippets to your theme.liquid file, and then it'll set these pages to no index follow. Next, navigation and site structure. So I think they've done this really well. Like if you look at their site, they show basically the, you know, on their navigation, they feature the collection and product pages that they want to rank, right? Whether it's men's adaptive shirts or men's adaptive pants or even gripper socks. I think they can do a little bit a better job selecting which ones to feature here, right? Like some of these product pages don't have much search volume, so you don't really have to feature them on the navigation. Like I would just feature like adaptive shirts, adaptive pants, even these gripper socks. Like this is a product page. I would probably feature the collection page, this collection page on the navigation and not a specific product, because this is the one that's ranking for non-slip socks for elderly, non-skid socks, things like that. So it would be much better if they featured this on the navigation instead of this specific product page, right? Yeah, same thing with women. They have the same thing: women's adaptive pants, women's adaptive tops, etc., etc. So it's not that bad, but it's also not perfect. I think they can do a little bit better with regards to the main menu. Something that I also noticed at the bottom was they have a lot of this. This is decent, but I think there's a cleaner way to do this, right? Because you can see that, okay, they've done really good keyword research. They know that they need to create a lot of these collections and sub collections, but yeah, there should be a better way to present this, right? Instead of just putting them all in the footer. That's the main menu with regards to the homepage. Let's take a look. Shop men's, women's. Okay, that's pretty good. The goal with the homepage is really featuring the collection or product category pages with the highest search volume, because search volume is a very good indication that something is popular, right? That product category is popular. Like the higher the search volume, more people are interested in those product categories, right? So it's good that they feature those here. This is really good for social proof. And they have shop by need, right? So again, these probably have decent search volume as well. So that's really good. Like clothes for dementia, pants for incontinence, clothes for arthritis. So yeah, they have a good strategy when it comes to the homepage, featuring product categories or popular product categories, right? Some good stuff, bestsellers, some products here. It's pretty good. Yeah, the last thing was probably to put some blog content on here, right? At the bottom. Like it's not super important, but like the thing with the homepage is that it is the strongest page on your site. It is the hub of your site. So it's going to have the most backlinks pointing to it. So it's going to have a lot of link juice. And you basically want to funnel that link juice into, again, the collection or product category pages with the most search volume, because if you rank for those, you'll get a really decent ROI on that. And that's why they've done that. But also, like, you know, you want to funnel them into your blog posts as well. So you can feature a few blog posts at the bottom, like have basically like a small blog section showing like 6 of the most popular blog posts on this site, because I did look and they do have a lot of blog posts, right? It's pretty active. Like this was like published today, so it's good to try to feature that on the homepage as well to spread out that link juice, right? Okay, so far, like I think they've done pretty well. Like just some minor improvements can make a difference, but overall, I think this is really well optimized for SEO. So now let's move on to the collection pages. So the first thing I notice right away is that the H1 isn't written as a text here, right? Like we have men's adaptive shirts, but this is an image, right? And if I look at the source code, right? If I look at the source code and look for the H1, second, let's move back up and look for the H1, I can find it, right? The H1 does exist, but it's not really text on here, which I think can be tricky, because I'm not sure if this actually makes a big difference, because like you can see it, like if the search engine crawled the HTML, it will find the H1, but on the page, like it's not really there as a text. And I'm not sure, like I don't have the experience, like usually we just have it as a text, right? So That might be something they can change, but I'm not sure how much that actually affects the SEO. But in my opinion, they should just keep it simple and just have like the H1 text right on here, because the H1, the URL and title tag are the three most important on-page SEO elements when it comes to SEO. So yeah, you want to make sure that H1, men's adaptive shirts, the URL, men's adaptive shirts, and the title tag, men's adaptive shirts, are all consistent and optimized for SEO. So yeah, that's just one minor thing that I think can be improved, because like, yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky to just have it as an image up here. It might not be good for SEO. Okay. And then next is the descriptions. So yeah, they do pretty well when it comes to writing or adding content to these pages, right? So they have a really long description down here, even some FAQs and internal links. So they've done really well in terms of on-page SEO, in my opinion, right? The descriptions are good. They have a good looking product grid. Like, it's simple, but provides all the information you need, not just the price, but also the color, if ever, good images. So yeah, the product grid is good. Again, they have frequently asked questions and internal links at the bottom, which really helps with SEO. And the reasoning behind adding more content to a page is just it increases relevance for the search engine, and it provides the search engines with more context as to what the page is about. Most e-commerce brands will just have the H1 URL and title tag optimized for SEO, and then just have a product grid. And it will be difficult for the search engine to differentiate that page from another page, right? Because you really just have the H1 and the title, the product grid to work with. If you add more content, though, it just feeds the search engine more data as to what the page is about, right? So instead of just having a H1 in product grid, you have like, okay, more questions being answered, right? Like, what are the features of adaptive shirts for men, right? Even like some frequently asked questions that your potential customers might have. This helps just convince the search engine that your brand is actually the expert or authority in your industry, because you're answering all the questions that your potential customers might have, right? So yeah, it's always good to add more content to your collection or product category pages. Moving on, the product pages. So the product pages, it's all dependent on whether you actually want to rank your product pages, right? But in the end, the goal is to simply optimize for conversions, right? And this is a very typical product page. I won't go over this too long because I don't think that their goal is to rank their product pages. There are a few. Well, ranking number 1 for button down. I'm not sure if that makes sense, because it's they're not like, their strategy is not actually to rank the product pages. It's more on ranking the collection pages, specifically like these ones: adaptive shirts for men, adaptive pants for men, gripper socks, and all these variations of that, right? Clothes for post-surgery, clothes for dementia, cerebral palsy, adaptive clothing. So that's actually their strategy. It's not really ranking these product pages. And I might go further and even consider removing the product pages from the index if they don't actually target any specific keyword, again, to save crawl budget, and just so that the search engine is focused on crawling the pages that actually make a difference, which I think is the product category pages, right? So we're going to skip the product pages for now. But yeah, the goal is basically to make sure that they're optimized for conversions. Simply have a product description here. Yeah, pricing, big button that says add. Maybe change the color, might help with optimization. Like, this is a little, it's the same color as the theme, blue. Maybe something like yellow will actually make it look more clickable. But yeah, these are just simple improvements you can make with regards to CRO. But yeah, this looks like a typical product page. Yeah, ratings. Another thing that's important is to make sure that the schema is working. So let's just check that real quick. This schema is super important to make sure that you have the rich snippet on the search engine results page. But knowing these guys, they probably have their schema down because they have almost everything else in order. So I doubt that they have any schema issues, because schema usually comes with most Shopify themes out of the box. So I don't see them overlooking that, right? Okay, supporting blog content. So yeah, we saw this earlier. They have a blog which is really active. They look like they post almost every other day, at least twice or thrice a week, which is really good, because you can see here that they are ranking their blog posts, right? So you can see that it's ranking really well. So yeah, the blog is useful for two reasons. Number one, you can rank your blog posts in search engines, and they are ranking for some of their blog posts, as you can see here, right? And because those blog posts rank, you can, number one, that's additional revenue if you add product CTAs into those blog posts. Another thing you can do is capture emails, right? And then nurture them through an email sequence. And yeah, and the next thing is really like blog posts increase the rankings of your collection pages via internal linking and topical authority, right? If you want to rank for, let's say, men's adaptive shirts, you can't just have one page about men's adaptive shirts and expect to rank. You need to show the search engine that you are actually the expert or authority in your industry, and therefore write blog posts around men's adaptive shirts, or even like adaptive shirts for seniors, right? Like I'm sure we can find some blog posts here because they have a lot of internal links. So these are all product pages, which are fine, but they should have blog posts here as well. If not here, then maybe the blog posts internally link from the blog post just to here, and these collection pages don't link back because they're trying to keep that link juice in these collection pages. That might be the idea behind this, but it actually doesn't hurt to link back to a few blog posts so that the loop isn't closed, and so the link juice actually flows from the collection pages, the product pages, and the blog posts freely, right? So yeah, that's the idea behind blog posts. Number one, you can rank them, and number two, they actually help improve the rankings of your shopping pages, your collection pages, and product pages via topical authority and internal linking. So let's like quickly just go over one of their blog posts to see how they're written, right? 6 comfortable nightgowns for bedridden patients. Yeah, H1, URL, title tag, all optimized for SEO. It's good. And when it comes to the actual blog posts, the idea is basically just Google the target keyword. If it's comfortable nightgowns for bedridden patients, you just want to Google that keyword and study the top ranking pages. Try to understand how they structure their content, how they wrote it. And the goal is just to make sure that your content is better than what's currently ranking, right? In terms of like what is being covered, and then you just want to cover it well, right? Or better. And yeah, it looks like this is well written. It's very well organized with a lot of internal links to the collection pages. So yeah, what I mentioned earlier about the internal links to the collection pages, like yeah, a lot of these blog posts internally link to the collection pages, and I don't think the collection pages link back to the blog posts, but there actually is some advantage to linking back a few blog posts, maybe 1 to 3, just so you don't close that loop, right? Because some SEOs actually just believe that you want the blog post to link to the shopping pages and not link the shopping pages back because you don't want to send the traffic back or send the link juice back. But based on some tests, it actually is beneficial to have some internal links back to blog posts, like 1 to 3, just so you don't close that loop. But yeah, you can see what the idea was here. Like there's a lot of internal links. They're doing exactly what I think proper or a good SEO would do, right? Create good content, use internal links freely, right? As much as possible. Yeah, so they've done really well in terms of optimizing the content for SEO, using internal links. Images, I think they can do better. There are no images on this page. So yeah, that's something they can improve, I think. And product UTAs, like they have internal links to the collection pages here within the text, but maybe at the bottom or within the text, you can add like small banners or CTAs for specific products, right? Like adaptive nightgowns, you have a collection page for adaptive nightgowns. Maybe you can put like a better or clearer CTA, like a button or a banner going to the adaptive nightgowns page. But yeah, it's not like a deal breaker. And the last thing I want to look at is link building. When it comes to these small brands, they usually are more reluctant to build backlinks. But what I noticed immediately from Joe and Bella is that they are spending on backlinks. They're actively building backlinks. And that's why I'm very confident that they're going to be 3xing their, at least 3x, maybe 5xing their traffic over the next few months, because they're investing heavily into backlinks and they're not scared to invest into backlinks, because some of these backlinks are high quality and very relevant to their brand, right? Like, so let's look at like dailycaring.com, Podchaser even, Amada Senior Care. So I'm just going to bring up a few of the backlinks, but they've built, like, this is just in the last 30 days, by the way, right? So they've built 13 backlinks in the last 30 days, some intentionally, some I'm guessing not intentionally, but let's look at some of the ones that were built intentionally, because These are quality backlinks, right? This one's straight to the homepage, right at the top of the page, very niche relevant, right? dailycaring.com, best senior caregiving website in 2023. So it's very niche relevant. They have their page, their link high up on the page, right? So that's a good backlink. Let's see the metrics of that backlink. So yeah, it's a DR71 with 15,000 domain traffic. So that's a good backlink. Relevant, good metrics. I'm guessing it's powerful. Next is like this one's from a podcast, right? So they have their link, Podchaser. Let's look at that. Yeah, affiliates. Where is this? Here. Yeah, so they have their link here. This isn't going to be a super powerful link because it's just like there's not a lot of content here, but it's still a good backlink from a DR84 site with 115,000 traffic, right? So this is still a pretty good backlink. Next, again, from Amala Senior Care, very niche relevant, and they have their backlink. Let's see, they have their backlink right here, right? Straight to a collection page. So again, another very good backlink, very niche relevant, metrics, 51 DR, 14,000 traffic. So you can tell that they're spending on acquiring backlinks, right? And they're making an effort to acquire backlinks. And that's why I'm very confident that the traffic is going to improve over the next few months, right? Yeah. And then these aren't like, like these are quality backlinks. These were just built in the last 30 days. And I filtered them from DR3 with at least a domain traffic of 1,000. So yeah, there is an SEO on board that's working on this and actively building these backlinks. So yeah, and that's it for now. I hope this was helpful. I hope this was a good peek into what great SEO looks like, what great SEO entails, what needs to be done to do great SEO, right? Like this is what the playbook should look like. And I think they've executed this playbook quite well in terms of technical SEO, on-page SEO, and link building. They're not scared to invest in backlinks. And I think they will be rewarded in the very near future. If you want to learn how to execute this playbook, right, or this whole checklist, I recommend you check out our Shopify SEO Mastermind. It's a school community. The link should be in the description. In that school community, there's a Shopify SEO Masterclass. It's basically the A to Z of everything related to Shopify SEO. We cover technical SEO, Shopify site speed optimization, keyword research, navigation, site structure, shopping page optimization, working on Shopify, optimizing blog posts for SEO, internal linking, even off-page SEO. We give you why it's important to build backlinks, foundational link building, which backlinks should you build, how to vet your backlinks, etc., etc. Basically everything related to getting to rank your Shopify store on Google or other search engines. So I hope this was helpful. I chose this brand because, again, it's a small brand doing great SEO. And if they can do it, there's no reason you can't, right? So that's it for now. I hope this was helpful. Thanks for listening. Cheers.